What's up, everybody? Damon here, and in today's gaming news, we have an explanation for why certain games run better on PS5 than Xbox Series X, July's Game Pass lineup, and a beloved character that might be coming to Multiversus. This is your Daily Fix. It is widely accepted that the Xbox Series X console is the most powerful ever made. So, why do some games run better on PlayStation 5? That's the question finally answered by the tech experts at Digital Foundry. Both Microsoft and Sony launched the current generation of consoles at the same time in November 2020, and while the less powerful Xbox Series S obviously struggles on the performance front, the Xbox Series X is a tech monster. It's capable of 12 teraflops of GPU performance, whereas the PS5 can do 10.28. Xbox executives have said they wanted to avoid repeating the narrative established in the last generation, where the Xbox One was significantly underpowered compared to the PlayStation 4. And so, Microsoft went hard with the Xbox Series X, ensuring it could safely call it the world's most powerful console. But now, as we approach each console's 4th birthday, it turns out some games run better on PS5 than Xbox Series X. How can that be? According to Digital Foundry's conversations with developers, quote, the combination of a more efficient GPU compiler, lower level APIs, and higher clock speeds allows PS5 to match or even exceed the outputs of Xbox Series X in some scenarios. One example of this is Elden Ring, which runs faster on PS5 than on Series X. Digital Foundry's analysis of the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC shows a surprising frame rate difference in favor of PS5, which is supposedly the less capable machine. Also, as some IGN commenters have pointed out, it's possible that many developers focus more of their attention on the PS5 versions of games simply because it has a much larger install base than its competitor. But as Digital Foundry notes, there remains value in the approach Microsoft took for Series X, which has a commonality with PC development that helps game makers. Digital Foundry explains, there are situations where the Xbox ecosystem and feature set yields dividends. For example, while Elden Ring may run faster on PS5, Sony's limited implementation of variable refresh rate support means that we'd much rather play the game on Xbox Series X. It's just a smoother and more consistent experience. Moving on, Microsoft has confirmed the Xbox Game Pass July Wave 1 lineup, revealing what subscribers can expect for the first half of this month. Kicking things off on July 3rd is Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. This Nickelodeon-based platform fighter got a 9 out of 10 from IGN. We said it knocks nearly every single one of the first game's problems into the blast zone, while also introducing a more interesting roster and better visuals throughout. Also on July 3rd is the 2020 action-adventure game Journey to the Savage Planet, which makes a return to the Game Pass library. We gave it a 6 out of 10 and said this comedy exploration experience blasts off with a lot of fresh ideas but doesn't quite stick the landing. On July 9th, Cricket 24 arrives, but probably only the most die-hard Cricket fans need to check this one out, as it got a 5 out of 10. We said Cricket 24 is a disappointingly modest and often slipshod update that seemingly lacks the confidence or creativity to advance further down the wicket. Let's all just pretend we know what wicket means. Also on July 9th is the 2022 point-and-click detective adventure game The Case of the Golden Idol. Moving on to maybe the highlights of the first half of the month, first-person action game Neon White hits Game Pass on July 11th. Our review returned an 8 out of 10. We said, part visual novel, part lightning-fast FPS platformer, Neon White's airtight level design and fantastic sense of momentum ensure its gameplay is something to celebrate. Also on July 11th is the action-adventure game Chia. Magical Delicacy launches as a Day 1 Game Pass title on July 16th. This wholesome pixel art platformer lets players cook magical dishes from a vast collection of ingredients in their own shop. And rounding out the first half of July is the Day 1 Game Pass launch of Flock on July 16th. Flock is a multiplayer co-op game about the joy of flight and collecting adorable flying creatures with your friends. So maybe not the most exciting Game Pass lineup ever, but we are getting Darkest Dungeon 2 in a couple weeks and Capcom's Kunitsugami toward the end of the month. And finally today, a developer on Multiversus has hinted that Scorpion from Mortal Kombat could hit the brawler. Player First Games community manager Ajax replied to a Scorpion Multiversus concept posted to Twitter in a way that confirmed nothing but teased everything. As we can see, this version of Scorpion is slightly cutesy-fied and presumably would not perform his usual hyper-violent fatalities. But if they're able to make Scorpion work in Multiversus, maybe he or another Mortal Kombat character could eventually make it to Smash Bros. Someday. Multiversus is Warner Bros.' take on Smash Bros. And includes a number of characters owned by the company, such as Batman and the Matrix villain Agent Smith, just to name a couple. Warner Bros. Also owns Mortal Kombat and its developer NetherRealm, so it would make sense to see the series' famous ninja turn up at some point. Multiversus was re-released across PC, PlayStation, and Xbox in May after a lengthy beta. On Steam, the relaunch saw concurrent player count shoot up to 115,000, but that figure has fallen dramatically since, with 6,000 peak concurrents in the last 24 hours. Player First Games is in the process of rolling out Multiversus mid-season update patch 1.05, readying the game for Agent Smith's arrival on July 8th. And that is your daily fix for Tuesday, July 2nd. Now that you're caught up on the news, check out our picks for the best games to pick up during the Steam summer sale. I'm Damon Hatfield, and for all your gaming news, stay tuned to IGN.